The ice shelf should stay attached to the northeastern side of the Svalbard archipelago for the whole summer. But it's broken off, leaving the bears, like our young female, on dry land. For her, it's the worst of all possible scenarios. Her first solitary summer and no seals in sight. She'll somehow need a healthy supply of fat to hold out until autumn, especially this year when food is set to be in short supply for much longer. We're soon greeted by a creature with multiple heads, a colony of female walruses. But our bear is in for a surprise if she thinks live walrus is on the menu. They weigh in at 1,500 to 4,000 pounds. Yet they do panic for nothing. During the summer months, when the ringed seals have followed the ice, walruses are a good substitute for a full-grown adult bear. And scientists believe that the melting ice shelf could make the walrus hunt quite popular. A young bear can only hope for a walrus carcass. Every day, she scours 20 miles of coastland in search of food. She'll try other neighboring fjords before returning to Texas Bar. Mid-August, and her path crosses eider ducks at the end of their mating season. Birds are fair game if seals aren't around and walruses are too challenging. Hunger drives her from the barren coastline into the water. With their webbed front paws and long necks, polar bears are perfectly adapted to swimming for over 60 miles without stopping. She's heading for a group of islands where the ducks are still nesting. All she can find here are a few duck eggs to tide her over the food shortage. It's by no means a meal, and the ice won't be back for a whole month. The return swim in freezing waters will burn valuable calories. The trip was barely worth it. Though her fat protects her, her fur is permeable. The brutal fact remains that if the shifting ice had not melted, she wouldn't have needed to get wet nor move from island to island. On the east side of the fjord, her brother also bides his time. After enjoying a good spring feed of seals, he's still looking in great shape. To think that he was so endearing a year ago. Now he moves like a grim reaper directly for us. His weight won't stop him from running. Far from worrying about his future, I worry about my own. He's making for the glaciers at the far end of the fjord. Where there's ice, there are seals, rare bearded seals. And before long, the glaciers of Spitzberg stand before us. Nothing, it seems, can stop the glaciers from shrinking. They've receded 1 to 2 miles in the past century, but no one can predict today with any certainty what the future really holds for the Arctic. The effects of climate change are extremely complex. The changing patterns of ocean currents could provoke completely unexpected results.
Filmmaker Jérôme Bouvier steels himself for a doomsday scenario in the high Arctic in the concluding part of Face to Face with the Polar Bear.
The unforgettable spectacle of the shrinking glaciers of Spitzberg has made us lose sight of our young male bear. Summer is drawing to a close, and we want to keep up with him and his sister for as long as open water allows us. Then a member of my team spots the male between 2 icebergs. He's at it again. From the size of the catch, it must be a bearded seal, caught napping while this great swimmer sneaked up unannounced. This is a perfect opportunity to see how this supreme hunter feeds. We must get as close as possible without disturbing the banquet. He strips the carcass to get at the fat, the only part which really matters to him. The fat will allow him to put on weight without expending energy, digesting, and he doesn't have to worry about the cholesterol. And there's another vital point. Fat contains valuable water, which bears need in an environment which otherwise offers them little to drink. This way, no energy is lost finding water. But were the bear to eat the actual meat, he would lose energy digesting and dehydrate in the process. The feeding habits of polar bears are perfectly adapted to their world. Nothing is wasted, even licking the ice for every last ounce of fat. The meat is abandoned for birds and less talented hunters as we turn our backs for the last time on one young bear that's made it. September. The wind and swell make me seasick. I'm cut out for ice, not waves beating against the hull. How I envy real sailors. Seasickness only deepens my fear. Several weeks have slipped by without our seeing the young female. We must catch up with her once more before the ice returns. We spot her in a fjord beyond Texas Bar. She's far from the great glaciers where ice floes bring seals. But she struggles on. It's not until she hauls herself out of the water that I see what state she's in. She's tired, emaciated, and must find food quickly. Her fat reserves hardly protect her now from the cold. And from my own solitary vantage point, the full horror and reason for her predicament becomes clear. First, she started the summer too thin, and unlike her brother, was unable to hunt effectively. Then, the ice disappeared completely this year, even though we're in the heart of the Arctic. Though some bears are clearly more equal than others, I'm convinced she would have fared better under normal conditions. She must hold out one more month. Sadly, I think it's too much to hope for. Does her fate mirror the future of the entire species? Can polar bears, so long masters of the ice, somehow adapt to the forces of global warming that are changing their environment faster than anyone could have imagined? At the rate at which the Arctic is melting, partly because of too much human pollution, polar bears cannot afford to wait for the answer.